Welcome to What's New in GoLand 2023.2. Are you ready for some dazzling UI changes, improvements to error handling, updates to our modules integration, and a brand new Kafka plugin, as well as the option for VSCode KeyMappings? Plus, a nearly eclectic number of quality of life changes, features you can't live without, and things that make you go, ooh. So, what are you waiting for? Let's go! We've introduced new colored project headers to the UI. You can customize the default color at any time by right-clicking on the toolbar and selecting the Change Toolbar Color option. Also, for those of you who use the light theme, you can now use it with a light header as well. Here's a fun one. You now have the option to commit specific lines of code instead of the whole chunk. Finally! Let's take a quick stop at the HTTP client, where you can now preview PDF and HTML responses. Plus, we've added support for Swagger and OpenAPI schemas. That's definitely an ooh. To error is or to error as? That is the question. And now we've added inspections. GoLand now highlights cases where error.is or error.as should be used. We've also added some intention actions to help with updating dependencies in go.mod files, and we've added the option to download modules automatically. A new Kafka plugin is available on the JetBrains marketplace. It's easy to install and get started. You can connect to a Kafka cluster, produce and consume messages, manage topics and monitor consumer groups, among other things. I'd really recommend checking out the documentation if you choose to experiment with this plugin, because this plugin is a lot more powerful than I can truly convey in 30 seconds. For those of you who are more accustomed to VS Code, we've now bundled the option to use their key mappings. Simply head to the Customize section of the welcome screen, or you can change your key map in the Preferences menu. Alright, double time! You can now migrate method parameters to be function receivers and vice versa. GoLand now has completion and checks for make function arguments. A warning has been added for redundant conditions and for loops. You now have the option to turn on single-click navigation between project directories. You can now sort files in the project view by modification time. Inspection for the Norway problem in YAML files. You can now search for text in Search Everywhere. Pause. I think I actually forgot about Docker and Kubernetes changes. For example, you can now preview files inside Docker image layers, and you can set Docker containers to run as a before launch task for run configurations. For Kubernetes, you can now view deployment logs, which might make DevOps life just a tiny bit easier. Alright, I think that's enough for now, but what if it wasn't though? If you're hungry for more, check out the full blog post, which goes into much more detail and includes even more features I just couldn't quite fit into the video. So, which feature was the most exciting, and which feature would you like to be added into the next release? Please let us know in the comments. Until next time, do what you gotta do, the buttons below, and of course, have a lovely day. Man, I'm sweaty. It's too hot to film. It's too hot.